we remain committed to making the world's finest quality wines, and it means that not everything is going to get made this year if, in fact, scientifically, there are problems. So it's going to be a shorter than average crop with a shorter than average production capacity behind it. And everything that you expect from quality standards in both Napa Valley and Sonoma County is going to be there in the final product. There will simply be less of it. Now, bridging to your two key points, which is, let's talk about what is smoke taint, how long has this been going on, and then your second point, more of the technical information of the impact. How deep do you want to go?
Okay, so let's start with what is a smoke taint, and let's explain fully how does the smoke taint influence the wine. So what happens when there is a smoke taint in the grapes?
Okay, starting with what is the definition of smoke taint, something that all of us can relate to is there's this character of smoky burnt, like campfire, wet ashes, like a retro nasal feeling. And just so you know, there's a blessed approximately 25% of people just can't even smell this. So this is a non-issue for them. However, everybody else has varying degrees of sensitivity, or what is certain properties in the bound matrix of the wine differently. So we're already getting deep into the science lesson. The relationship between fires and potential smoke taint all involves thermal degradation of lignin, which creates volatile phenols. So when things burn, if they have lignins, there are these hundreds of compounds that are created that are volatile phenols. There are approximately 7+ that are being studied globally right now, and a lot of work is being done. And ever since 2015, 17, 18, and now, there are collaborations going on literally globally and with our key labs. How the volatile phenols, which have markers that are tested in the laboratory, affect the grape is that the smoke is carrying into the skins of the grapes. Doesn't matter if they're white or red. And it gets into the flesh of the grape. And obviously for winemaking, we're trying to extract gorgeous things from the skins of the grapes. So there's an obvious issue that there's something new that's been put inside that will get in the way. The vines are susceptible to smoke taint in very different ways. Certain varietals are more susceptible. For example,
and white and red, right? Because let's also take a look at the winemaking, because the smoke taint affects the skin of the berry. Well, white wines generally less affected than the red wines.
Correct? It goes back to what can be expressed and when the smoke happens. The grapes are most susceptible, whether they're white or red, from the time that veraison occurs and they're changing from the hard green berries into the soft, ripe structure of either a white grape or a red wine grape. And there's a diagram, which is frequently used by Dr. Anita Oberholzer from UC Davis, that talks about, imagine an iceberg where you can see that much sticking out of the water and there's so much more below it. That's kind of, imagine how volatile phenols and non-volatile phenols, but these compounds, which we're calling VP for short, work in the process of going from the grape into the winemaking. And it takes making wine from these grapes to release the larger portion of bound up VPs that are the ice that's underneath the ocean, if you know what I mean.